And joining me in the house today is, like I said, Reese and Cabello, right? So let's give them a big round of applause and splash of love at home. Thank you so much, guys. It's really great to have you guys here. And I know we have Reese, who was with us with the last show. It was great to have you on the last one, Reese.
I'm back.
Yeah. It's good to be back, right? We obviously thankful to have you here with us today. And you were very effective with the last one. We believe in what you do with the IGB. And you'll probably tell us more about the IGB again, just in case we have a new audience. Okay. And all the way from the Northwest.
That's what's up.
We have Cabello right here, who's also... he's in fact, he has his own brand. It's called African Child. He has a shirt right there of it.
Yep.
Yeah, good merchant. And he's gonna obviously share with us where, you know, the heart of where it comes from and stuff like that. Maybe we can start with Reese. Reese, you wanna tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you do?
Awesome. So hey everybody, I am Reese and I have a mental health company called IGB. So basically what we do is we initiate mental health workshops across South Africa. Right now we're working across in Joburg with public schools. We're currently venturing now into a big project where we're doing employee wellness. So we're going into companies and actually doing that. So we believe in mental health.
Yeah.
Like I said in the last interview.
Yeah.
Stress, anxiety, depression, all of those things. It doesn't ask for your skin color, doesn't ask for your age, it doesn't ask from where you come from. It affects everyone on a global stage. And what we want to do is we want to educate people about that crisis that we're facing every day. There's just one thing that I always tell the students or everybody attending the workshops is that the words "you'll get through it" and "just get yourself together" is an ideology that our communities has been using for all of these years and not actually educating our people and our, everybody, our day-to-day peers on a day-to-day basis. So what we're trying to do is initiate the education behind that. Just like all of the other mental health organizations, we have the same motto, as I can say, to educate people, but with ours it's more like a personal, peer-friendly type of approach where we're dealing with the realistic side of things.
And such a need in these times, eh?
So true.
Such a very need in these times. So it'll be interesting to engage and poke your brain in some of the stuff that you guys are doing. Cool. But Cabello, for yourself, you want to tell us who you are and what you do?
Hi guys, I'm Cabello and I'm from Northwest, in Rustenburg. In 2019, I started a brand called African Child, so that, it started when there were xenophobic attacks around Johannesburg, I think. Johannesburg,
yes.
So we started the brand called African Child so that you can unite Africans, we can wrap around the whole continent and put them together and just tell them that we are all brothers and sisters. No one is a foreigner in this land. We are all from one continent, and even the out of Africa hypothesis proves that everyone around the world is from Africa. Yeah, sure.
Hey, so it goes deeper to
deep to the roots. To the roots.
Exactly. He mixed culture with our issues. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? And maybe before I should, because the whole episode is about I have a voice, and maybe I should start with you, Reese. I mean, in these mental health things that you guys are doing, and even what he's speaking about inequality, how important do you think is the voice of the youth?
Very important. One of our modules that we actually have in our mental health workshops is called My Place in Society. It's basically we teaching all of the people attending our workshops on how important your place in society actually is. And we kind of evaluate that on a mental health perspective where we educate them about ways to deal with how society is going to accept you. Sometimes people is going to accept you because, okay, fine, if you're depressed or if you have anxiety, people are going to treat you different, like you're weak, all of those kind of stuff. So we're trying to implement values in them, just like the Columba values, so that we can strengthen them and make them find their place in society. And I believe that is a great representation of having your own voice. Is once you know your place in society, you'll be able to stand for yourself with confidence, you'll be able to live your dream, you'll be able to go after what you love. And I feel like that's a great representation of what the show actually presents as well for I Have a Voice.
Wow, that's amazing. And for yourself, I mean, I'll give both of you guys a chance because this is the theme, of course. And I mean, being a young person and seeing these xenophobic attacks occurring, and you're like, look, I'm going to design this brand and whatsoever, and you believe it has, I mean, you don't do such a thing unless you believe it's going to have an impact, right?
Yeah.
So with you as a young person who did that, and knowing other young people that are out there, how important do you think is the voice of the youth in maybe social and community related issues that we face?
I think like I get like my topic is about inequality.
Yeah.
I think you should like never judge a person from when they from where they are or where they come from.
Yeah.
Regardless of your skin color and everything.
Yeah.
No matter if you're from Zimbabwe or anywhere in Africa.
Yeah.
If you say something,
Yeah.
you got a point.
Yeah.
Like you must speak your mind and have a voice in everything that you say.
Yeah. Sure. All right, so that was a kickoff for me, just setting the tone, and I firmly believe in what we even doing here. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
As a place where, a lot of young people struggle with stuff, and they are no go-to areas, and we are strategic even in the crowd that we bring here, because what we aim is, we want to bring people that are operating in these fields, so that when the whole conversation is done, isn't it good to always have a go-to area? Right? And because we can have all these conversations, but what's the application thereafter? Right? So that's why I wanted initially to speak about the voice of the youth, how important it is, and you guys have expressed it very well. And maybe going back to Reese, I read an article at the time. I remember back at the time, it spoke about how the same part of your brain, the same area of your brain that gets activated when you feel physical pain also gets activated when you feel emotional pain. And isn't it true that every time you have like a physical cut, you attend it immediately, right? But people don't focus on the emotional side of it. And yet, if I had to have a wound and I don't attend it, I mean, I might get to a point where maybe I'm numb to the pain, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm not walking properly anymore. There's a dysfunction, right? But I will attend it physically because it's what I see, but we don't attend the emotional part of it.
True.
So maybe my question I had here is, what do you think is the connection between how you see yourself? And I said that to say, if people in fact, maybe let me ask the question first. What's the importance? What's the connection, according to you, between how you see yourself and how you treat other people? If there is a connection, do you think it's related?
I would definitely. Just to touch on that part is actually called the cortisol of your brain.
Oh, there we go.
So it actually works hand in hand with your stress levels.
Yeah.
So for example, when you made the analogy about the subconscious and all of the brain sides and physical, hurt or something like that. So the reason why you attend to that first is because you can see it, yes.
Yeah.
And you are able to attend to that matter of urgency because that activates that cortisol levels and because you're stressed about what's happening. But sometimes with our psychological side, we aren't aware of it. So sometimes, yes, it does affect our behavioral approach to how we react to things. But because you can't deal with that, that stress at that moment, sometimes people don't know how to deal with that. That's why they have withdrawal symptoms. That's why they have aggressive, outbursts and stuff like that. So that can also be a sign of them actually, going through some emotional tension as well. So that's also evaluations that we look into. But on your question,
there we go. No, I love this guy's nailing it. He's like giving me a technical explanation of, these cyber baba something. You know what I'm saying? Dude, look,
Sure,
let's stick to fashion.
So what I do with that, I'm just referencing everything because everything is linked to the the programs that I have. I have an activity that I do with youngsters. It's called emotional association.
Okay.
So we can reference this to bullying, we can reference this to depression, anxiety, stress, and all of those kind of stuff. So emotional association, if I give you a word and I say abuse, we try and link the emotional association with that. So if I say abuse or gender equality, it would be fear, it would be anger. So we try to deal with those emotions so that we can understand how we can deal with the individual. And once we break down those emotions, we can find coping mechanisms for them to deal with that anger so that we can understand the underlying problems of why they're having these outbursts. So with that, how people treat other people, we can use bullying as an example. Some people have insecurities, infidelities, and all those kind of stuff. So they try to have that outburst so that they can, make someone else feel weak so that they can have that confidence. So that is also a sign of emotional association, because they don't know how to associate their own emotions, so they're going to have an outburst on someone else so that they can bring them down, so that they can feel better. That would also be another approach, is somehow you see your own emotions and not considering other people's emotions as well.
So you probably did touch, maybe I just want you to repeat again, how do you guys deal with that?
So what we do is we have activities, those physical activities, or in the programs where we break down how to deal with that specific emotion. So if you're saying that you're feeling depressed, you're feeling lonely, all of those time, we have those emotional associations, because we have one-on-one sit-downs, even if we have big group sessions as well. We sit down, we ask them, this is how you deal with it, and then we implement those coping mechanisms so that we can break down that behavioral cycles in there.
And maybe before I just jump to Kabelo again, maybe the last one would also be, last one for this round, would be, it's I've asked you about how do you deal with it, but another important question is, how do people identify it? Is it easy? Because now, I could be, because I've seen it a lot of times, people sometimes are ugly towards other people because they don't feel good about themselves. So you inflict onto another person, like you just explained, right? But if a person says, I'd like to identify what that area is, I'd like to identify, is it a self thing? I mean, is it an image where I look down, I think maybe I don't look as good as the next person, or maybe I was bullied. It's shown many times, even kids who are bullied, who are have been bullied themselves, or were that bullied at home. So do you guys have like systems where you help them identify the root of those different issues?
Okay, so currently on the mental health organizations, there are websites where you can do those mental health surveys so that you can, break down those type of things as well. So it's like mental health surveys where they ask you questions, and then it gives you basically a survey on what's the current status of your mental health, or what's your emotional breakdown, or those kind of things. So there is surveys and programs like that on mental health organizations or companies that, have that type of approach. If you want to have that, break down and find out, is this what I'm going through? Am I stressing? Am I under a lot of pressure? But currently we don't have a program that deals with that, but we are working on something called SSS. So it's a school support system. So we are going to go into schools, and we're going to have that school support system where even educators as well will be able to come to us and ask, okay, listen, I have a problematic child, would you be able to refer them? Because I am aware that the schools currently have SLAs, which is student learner agents. So they have those agents there. But my concern currently is that, do those SLAs have the necessary training to deal with those, kids? So they can identify them, but where they're going to take them, Understand that there's social workers as well, but what we're doing is we have social workers on our program that work with us. So it's easy to refer someone to the social workers, because in that field we're not qualified, we're only there to facilitate those mental health workshops, so we can refer them as well.
Oh, nice. Nice. And if you have to deal with somebody, are these also approaches telephonic? So let me say I'm in a different province and I'm linked to the IGB. Can you guys telephonically link me to someone?
Okay, unfortunately, what we do have, I do have an Instagram page and I have a Facebook page.
Also, they can reach out to you.
Yeah, so they can, and then I will be able to, advise the necessary platforms for you to go to in your respective areas, whether in Cape Town, Durban, Joburg, but specifically for the Joburg people, hit me up, I will hook you up.
So guys, this is Reese that we have with us, and like he said, you can reach out to him on social media, and this is setting the tone. We are going to have a whole show where we just focus on mental health, and we're going to focus on equality. So this is just setting the tone. Like, there are deeper questions we would like to go into, and discussions rather, not even questions, because this is discussions, right? But we're just setting the tone to say, look, this is what we are going to be looking at in the show. We're going to be looking at mental health. But for now, Reese, maybe you want to tell them your social media taglines. So where can they find you on Facebook, on Instagram?
Cool. If you guys want to DM me personally, it's Reese Gallagher on Facebook, Instagram, and then IGB_SA on Facebook and on Instagram. So it's IGB_SA.
So IGB_SA. So guys, we will have Reese again back full force, and he's going to be here with us speaking about the IGB and discussing, of course, mental health. We will also be later on the show also looking at physical health too, right? Because how you treat your body has to do a lot about your self-esteem, right? So it's really connected. So it's going to be interesting to look at those. Thank you very much, Reese. And Kabelo, for yourself, maybe the first question I'll ask: were you always into fashion, man? Was fashion your thing? You know,
to be honest, like I'm mostly interested in designing clothes for myself. Custom made clothes for myself. I believe that a black person should also create their own business, not like you should break out of the cycle every time. Maybe after high school, shouldn't be like from school to school. Maybe after high school you should create your own business and become your own entrepreneur. Be your own boss. So I am more into fashion for now, but I am into fashion.
And then fashion puts you into business.
And fashion puts me into business.
Look at that. So were you always a lover of fashion? Maybe I'd like to know, or is it something that you discovered later?
I was always a lover for fashion.
Nice.
Like there were role models that, like famous artists that I look up to. For an example, Ricky Rick. That guy. So I follow a lot of famous artists who are very stylish, like Tiroko. Like I have so many role models of fashion.
That's so nice.
Just want to see my brand up there. Flying with the big fish.
Look at this. Flying with the big fish. So fish
flying or swimming? Same thing. Both.
So I think the reason why I'm asking you is I think what's always amazing for me when I look at people who use their giftings and connect their talent with a message they're trying to speak. So how easy was it for you to connect the two? Or was it something that happened? Was it intentional? Maybe let's start here. Was it intentional, or it was just spontaneous? To just connect your gifting, your love for fashion, because it's one thing if a guy just designs a shirt and then they call it Cat. That's me. I'd have to have a big name for you to sell that. But to connect your gifting, I think that's what I want you to speak more on. The importance of, we're speaking about young people that I have a voice. How important is your gift in translating the message that you're trying to get to the world?
Never waste your gift. Never in the trash can. So when I did this, to be honest, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking of xenophobia, but I didn't know what am I going to create. Just came out of nowhere and just African child. I was like, okay, let me try and put this on paper and see what I can do. So to advise to young people, if God gave you a gift, don't lose it, never waste it, never sit on it. Use that ability to do something or change someone's life. Sometimes God can answer prayers through you. Sure. That's amazing. And I mean, for yourself, Reese, it's the same concept. You're a speaker. You're a lot to do. But the importance, maybe also from your side, of connecting your gifting with the voice or the message that you want to send to the world.
True. It's very important. Like you said, definitely don't waste your gifting. With personal reference, the reason why I created this program is because I'm creating something that I didn't have back then. And it's a great opportunity for youngsters, even there, if you wanna, if you know that there's a talent or there's a gap in the community or in the society in a whole, where you know that there's a lack, take that opportunity, go there, fill that gap. And that's why we are called the Generation Z, because we innovative, and that's where our strength lies, in that innovation. And that innovation is a talent. So go out there, close that gap, create that programs that we don't have, so that we can make our youth stronger.
That's amazing. I love that. Be what you didn't get. Hey? That is dope. Dope is a South African so I'm trying to explain to, but that's really amazing, guys. And it's really amazing in fact, maybe before I even get to towards the end. From your side, where can they find your merchandise if somebody wants, where can they find you on Facebook? Because I'm sure you also connect with your people via social media. And do you want to tell us your social media?
Guys, you can follow me on Instagram, like follow African Child Child 73 on Instagram. And on Facebook it's African Child Clothing 73. Then if you wanna inbox me personally to order, it's Kabza Lohor on Facebook. Then orders we deliver all around South Africa for only $100.
What?
Wow, that's nice.
Like that's on your doorstep. That's
I'm taking.
Is that the delivery cost?
Yeah, it is.
I'll find out where you are from, and then I'll order from far, just to see if it applies.
To hit your pocket, not mine.
So, any advice from your side, Reese, to any young person sitting at home watching, rather now or later? Is there any advice you have for them? Of course, relating to mental and emotional well-being.
Yeah, the only thing I have left to say for everybody is don't think that you're the only one going through whatever you're going through. There's a lot of people out there who's going through the exact same thing. And there is programs, there are companies, there are kids or groups that you can go to. Don't ever think that you're alone in this, because we're fighting this fight together.
That's cool, man. Thank you, Reese. And from your side, Kabelo, any advice you want to give young people, of course, with you relating to, I think what I love with also what you are speaking into is that equality, and to say we are all one. We are all an African child, right? It speaks to all are equal. And for you to go ahead, the brand is just the art behind it, but I think the message is what is important.
The message.
Right? So what's that burning thing relating to what you're seeing in our country, even in our communities, in terms of how we treat the next person? What's the advice to every young person watching?
My advice to young people is that love your brother and your sister. Like, let's love one another. Like, my heart breaks when I hear, like, they say someone is being abused, raped or killed somewhere in the streets. How can you do that to your own sister? So guys, be true to yourselves. No matter where you go in life, be true to yourself. Be true to your talents, your gifts. Use them. Never sit on them. And remember that a brother is a brother and a sister is a sister from wherever. In every country in Africa. Thank you.
Africa is
Africa.
Wow, guys, we can go. But setting the tone for it, we will be looking at transition and education for the next week on a higher level, and then of course moving to that from the following month. Of course, from the week after that, we'll be looking at one specific topic. And we will probably have the guys again coming back, whether it's virtual. And another thing that we should probably highlight, the streaming is live, so that means you'll also be able to call in from next week. Of course, this is setting the tone, but from next week you will be able to call in from wherever you are. You can log on. We will be on Facebook Live, we are on YouTube also streaming live, and you'll be able to call in and have a question. If you have a question here for our guests, you'll be able to ask them questions and they'll be able to give you answers. And always we will have a go-to area for everyone. So thank you very much. It is the Can Show, because I can, we can, right? In the midst of all this, it's the Columba Alumni Network. So thank you very much for everyone watching us from home, from the Columba team. Thank you very much, guys, for you guys also coming here. I did stick to 30 minutes. Look at me. That's because I know you're coming back. All right. So have a great weekend. Be blessed.